Hi Leo, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading for February. I hope everybody's doing great. I do want to take a quick second just to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Leo out there. So guys, take what resonates for you, leave the rest for someone else. Keep in mind that the energies may reverse. So if it is resonating, Leo, get in where you fit in. But as always, don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Leo? Leo. Wow. That came out very fast. All right, we have the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. We have the Two of Cups reverse and the Nine of Pentacles. All right, so I can see that something here has ended. It was definitely a deep loss. This possibly was a soulmate for you. And I do feel like you're not quite on the same page. We do see you definitely working hard. You're in a very single but very independent energy. I feel like a lot of you are focusing a lot on your money or finances right now because there could have been some lack in the past, but it doesn't look like that's lasting either. But I do feel that, you're really looking at the details of this relationship that ended. You're very focused on it. You're in a very independent energy here as well. So let me see who's in your energy. Show me who is in Leo's energy. All right, the person in your energy, we have the Four of Wands. We have the Ace of Wands and the King of Cups. Well, so this person's in a very different energy than you are because you're kind of focusing on loss. You're kind of focusing on what caused a breakup here. But this person in your energy, they want a new beginning with you. And I do feel like this person is really passionate about you. They love you. Now, you could be dealing with a Pisces, Scorpio, or a Cancer, but I feel like this person wants to level this connection up. So this person has fallen in love with you. Let me see the energy between Leo and this person. Okay, so we have the Eight of Wands reverse. Oh, so they're not telling you? There's a blockage here. And then you have the King of Wands. They may even feel like you're blocking this connection from moving forward because you're focusing on the past. Or you're focused, and it doesn't even have to be a past with them. You're focusing on something that ended, some sort of a loss, a lack of support, possibly. Yeah, but I see that you're actually standing in your power with the King of Wands. That's Leo energy as far as, it's fire sign energy. So I do feel like you're kind of standing in your power, but this person is feeling blocked for some reason. They feel like you're the one that's blocking this. Let me see. And you might be, because you are in this very solitary, independent energy. Let me see what's affecting this connection. Some of you could just be very focused on your money right now. And you're not really opening yourself up to the, emotional aspects. All right, so we have the World. That's what's affecting this. So there's a cycle here that's ending, so a new beginning can happen. All right, so I can see this clearly. You're still focused on what caused the two of you to end this connection, or an ending in another connection, perhaps. This person is focused on this passionate new beginning. So I do feel like this cycle has to close out. You're not on the same page. You're correct. Now, it doesn't even have to be an ending with this person. It could be, but it doesn't have to be. So you're really focusing on something that is ended, it's over. This person's focusing on something that's a beginning and new, and they feel like you're blocking them from this actually closing out so the two of you can, have this new connection. Let me see the outcome. King of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so it's a lack of communication. You could be focused more on your own independence right now, or your finances and your money, and you just don't want to, you're just not ready to move forward with this person. They do have deep, deep emotions for you. They definitely do. They love you. So I feel like, you know, there's a conversation that needs to be had. You could also be afraid that this person's not being honest with you. They may become a little angry that you're throwing up these roadblocks. We'll clarify that. Bottom of the deck is the Nine of Wands in the reverse. That's underlying energy. And what that indicates is that these are problems that can and will be resolved. So that's very positive. You could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Possibly even another fire sign such as yourself, a Leo, Aries, or a Sagittarius. Let me go ahead and clarify your reading. Spirit, why is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse for Leo? All right, the Empress in the reverse, Justice in the reverse, and the Three of Pentacles. So that makes a lot of sense. You feel like something in your past here, whatever it is that ended, I don't know just yet if it's with this person or with it with somebody else, but regardless, you're really thinking about, pondering about a relationship that ended. And it ended in a way that made you feel disrespected. You felt like life was unfair, that somebody, whoever you had this ending with, had been very unfair to you. And so I do feel like it kind of pushed you into becoming more independent. It made you kind of look at your value, your self-worth, and whether or not you were creating balanced connections. Now, as you've stepped into your power, you've kind of launched off of the negativity that occurred in this connection in order to create your own stability. And that's why we see you in this very independent energy. Let me see, why is the Two of Cups in reverse for the person or for Leo? The Fool in reverse and the Seven of Wands reversed. Okay, so this ending that you had made you feel extremely powerless. Yeah, I feel like you have some fears about starting anything new. You're kind of averse to taking risk because you either feel like you're not on the same page with this person, or this ending that you had affected you very deeply, or both. So it left you in a state of fear. It left you in a state of not willing to take risk and feeling a bit powerless. But I have to tell you, Leo, that all of that is coming to a close. You're moving on from that. Whatever this ending was that you went through, and it does look like it's relationship-wise, it really kind of pushed you into understanding your value and your self-worth and putting up those boundaries so you have balanced connections. And I feel like you're trying to vet this person that's in your energy. Is this going to be balanced, or, you know, is it just going to lead to more problems? And you're not willing to step out on that limb until you know that you're not going to it's not going to break off and you're going to fall. So let's look at the Nine of Pentacles. Show me the Nine of Pentacles for Leo. All right, we have the Knight of Swords, and we have the Page of Pentacles. Okay. So I feel like this person's gonna offer you something. There's an offer here. I feel like there's definitely communication, so I'm not seeing a no communication situation here. I feel like there's definitely communication. I do feel like you're communicating with them. There's some things that they haven't openly talked to you about, but they feel like it's because you're kind of blocking this relationship from moving forward. And so I do feel like either you're offering this person something, or more likely they're offering you something. I do see truthful communication, and I do see some sort of a small offer. And it's when I say small, it's like a beginning. It's a beginning, but it's stable. So let's look at this person's energy. Spirit, why is the Four of Wands here for the person in Leo's energy? Queen of Swords in the reverse, and the Four of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, so this person could have been married at some point, but there's a sense of them, if they were, they've cut that person out and they've blocked that person. So I don't see that currently being an issue. But I do see that this is somebody who feels that perhaps you're actively cutting them out. You're blocking this connection from moving forward. They see you very empowered. They see you being very stable. But I feel like they're a little angry because they feel like you're blocking this from moving it to a higher level. And they're basically saying, look, I've let go of some things and you need to let go of some things as well. But they may not be coming out and telling you that. They might be kind of keeping that to themselves. There is definitely a sense here of this person being a little irritated, though, a little angry. Let me see the Ace of Wands. All right, so we have the Seven of Pentacles reversed, and we have the King of Wands. This person's very passionate about you. But they, again, I'm getting that energy of them saying, you know what, Leo, you're not investing in this connection. It can't be all me. You're blocking this from moving further. I do feel like this person is impatient for things to move forward, specifically in a physical sense as well. But they really just want, this cycle that is occurring here between the two of you, where you're in this strongly independent, empowered energy, making your own decisions, and making your own foundation. And they feel like, as a result, that you're not willing to give up your independence, so you're blocking this connection from moving forward. This is the cycle they want to end. So I feel like they are impatient for that. Let me see the King of Cups. Why is the King of Cups here for the person in Leo's energy? Ten of Pentacles reversed. That was your first card out. And the Ten of Wands. Yeah, so they're basically saying whatever occurred here that caused this ending, it's causing problems between you and I. And again, I cannot tell if this is a person from the past or someone new. It could be either. But they are definitely saying, hey, I love Leo, but whatever happened that caused this ending, caused this instability in their energy, it's causing a problem now between Leo and myself. And they're a little irritated by that. They're a little angry about it. Let me see the energy between Leo and this person. Show me the energy between Leo and this person. The Sun in reverse. Four of Wands reversed. And the Ace of Wands reversed. Okay. So there's a lot of things unknown between the two of you, and there's unhappiness on both sides. You more so because you're kind of like I said, you're kind of like delaying this Ace of Wands that this person wants. So they're correct. They're saying, it's Leo who's blocking this. Leo is blocking it, and it could be you're just blocking the physical connection between the two of you. But it's because, if that's the case, it's because you want something stable. You want some sort of a contract, whether it's a social contract, a physical contract, I don't know. But you want something more solid. You want something stable before you kind of move towards this. It's almost like you're asking for assurances that you're not going to go through the same kind of experience. And that's why you're kind of like, I don't know, I'm doing really well over here on my own. Now, this person in your energy, if they are or they were married, like I told you, I feel like that's over. They've cut that person out. They've released that person. They, are blocking anything from that person. So I don't feel like they're engaged with anyone else. If this is somebody here from your past, but it could be causing some issues. But if this is somebody here from your past, that would indicate that you were in either a marriage or a serious relationship with them, and that would have ended. So they feel like, they may feel like you cut them out and you're kind of blocking this connection. I definitely feel like they want to level this up, and they're irritated that you can't let the past be in the past. So they're unhappy about that. Although they might not be telling it to you. They might not be coming right out with it, but I feel like they will. Because there's a lot of things that aren't being said here from this person. It's almost like they're kind of eating their feelings instead of, you know, talking to you about them. Let me see why the world is here. Because we do see a cycle that's ending, so a new cycle can begin, and that's positive. The Strength card and the Five of Wands. Yeah, you have a lot of conflict. I think that's internal conflict. I don't think you're in conflict with this person, although you could be, because I do feel like at some point they're gonna let you know that they're feeling irritated. But no, I feel like you're internally conflicted about whether or not to move forward with this person, but it's really because you've looked at things from the past, you know? You went through something very difficult, Leo, and it's left this fear, this sense of fear. And it could be holding you back. Only you know. I do think you're in a very strong energy. You're in your power. So maybe you're just kind of vetting this person. But you'll know. And I do see some fear. So, you know, fear of taking a risk. So you might want to look at that. But regardless, I feel like that cycle is ending. I feel like you have strong feelings for this person, and I know they have strong feelings for you. This is somebody who definitely has feelings, emotions, and passion for you. But I feel like they feel that you have to come to terms with whatever happened in the past in order for them to take action towards you. There's almost this sense as well that this person, you soothe this person in some manner. There's a soothing energy. They're very, very focused on you. Let me see your outcome. Show me the outcome for Leo and this person. All right, so we have the Four of Cups. We have the Seven of Cups reversed. King of Pentacles reversed. And the Hangman reversed. All right, so like I said, there's a lot of things that aren't being said. There's a heavy focus on the past, and I do feel like that is more on your side, some on theirs as well. But there's a heavy focus on the past, and because of that heavy focus, it's causing a lot of conflicting feelings for you. This person's acknowledging that. They're saying, yeah, that's what's happening here. I feel like Leo is blocking me. And I feel like this person may feel almost disrespected by that. They may feel like, you know, you can't see the love that's here because you're so focused on something from the past that it's made you afraid to move forward. I do feel like you're getting clarity on that. And I do feel like they're getting clarity on their feelings and emotions because they also are looking at something here in the past. This person, I do feel like, is slightly irritated, if not outright angry. And they, like I said, they tend to eat their feelings, which is compounding their feelings and emotions. They're feeling rather overwhelmed right now. They definitely are. They could be having some financial issues, I'm definitely seeing as well. So I do feel like their stability is not exactly where they want it to be right now. And that's just a side note. But I do feel like they feel that you are not committing. And that's the problem. They feel like you will not commit to this connection because of what happened to you in the past. And so they feel there's no stability in this connection. I feel like they're going to tell you that. And once they do open up and talk to you, I also feel like that's going to cause you to look at this a little differently. I feel like it's going to change your perspective. There's a truth that's being spoken that is causing you to, you know, open up a little bit more towards this person. So I do feel like this is progressing. It's moving forward, and it does look like, you know, it's moving forward in a positive way. But there's some challenges that still have to be overcome so that you can get to that point. Bottom of the deck is the Page of Cups in the reverse, and that is an underlying energy, which does indicate to me that these are problems that can be resolved, but it's going to require, you know, people to, both of you to open up about your feelings. And that's what's not really taking place here on either, because you're intellectualizing it, and this person is feeling blocked and angry. So you're both going to need to open up about your feelings in order to actually resolve the issues. Now, you could be dealing with a Pisces, another Leo, a Taurus, Virgo, or a Capricorn. So we just had our Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year. I think it was Tuesday. So I'm going to use the Chinese fortune oracles. So we'll see what you get. Further clarification and advice for Leo. Okay, so you have number 18. That tells me this cycle is almost at an end, because that's a 9, and 9s are just before the end of a cycle. It's called friendships. Okay, so give me a second and I will read that for you. All right, so it says letting go of toxic friendships, new exciting friendships being made. All right, so selecting this card shows you are about to connect with some new friends and let go of others who may have proved false, toxic, or conniving. You may have experienced some personal turmoil recently, and I bet you now know your true and loyal friends, the ones you can depend on through your life and who can share your inner thoughts, feelings, and secrets with. Now I'm going to read the, I'm sorry, there's more. It says, friends are very important to you as they help with your development and spiritual growth. The right friends can also assist in making good decisions and continuing to be a good and decent human being. It is of utmost importance to let go of friends or family that have hurt your feelings, gossip about you, try putting you down, or you no longer trust. The next 6 months will see you networking and meeting new people from all walks of life. Joining new social clubs is ideal, and sporting clubs could bring love. Through small changes to your life, you will find that you will attract people like-minded to yourself. If feeling lonely, try one of the modern, reputable dating websites. There are also great online clubs for meeting new friends. Whatever you do, this card is all about the importance of friendships. So now is a great time to meet new people. And I'm going to read the relationship section as well. It says, through joining new social groups and sporting activities, your life will be full and enriched once again. Remember, as you let go of friends that you no longer feel are desirable to your life, this makes room for new connections and friends to come in, and this is likely to take place over the coming year. Your new friends will love and respect you. Sometimes this card can point to a secret admirer coming your way, so that may even liven things up, even if attached. Ooh la la. Well, let's hope you don't have a secret admirer that's attached. But, all right, I hope that this has been helpful for you, Leo. If this has resonated with you, hit that like button, hype the video if you get the opportunity, and subscribe to my channel. Until I see you in your next reading, Leo, know that you are loved, and namaste.